Good day, folks. Welcome back to Diecast Resurrection. I think it's time we look at one of these Nitty Gritty Kitties. I have three in various levels of distress. I was thinking we'll go with this one that's heavily painted, just because these other two have interiors that aren't painted and dashes that aren't painted, so they still have a chance at a decent restoration and a good life. So this one's got a red interior that somebody painted, and I'm worried that it could be stained now. So if I remove this red interior, we might end up with a pink interior. Because then we'd have to go full custom on this, unless I have a spare interior. Oh, also, I have a new mat. It's black. You know what they say. You know, so Buddy's painted everything on this car. Pipes are painted, drive shaft, oil pan, fuel tank, they'll paint it up. Pretty cool. We're gonna have to do a paint stripper on the base. See what we got. I don't know what the original color is. Hopefully we'll see once we open this up. I'm gonna kick it up size here, get to the next level. And then our final side to remove the old mushroom head here. Get a beefy pick here. Should be able to just pry this little guy up. There we go. That's cool. I don't know if we'll be going orange. It'd be nice to go orange. I like orange. Quite the mess we got here. Everything is painted. Alright. The axle's just dislodged. Wasn't actually bent up too bad. Maybe I'll just continue with that and prep this, because we're gonna need to go ahead and remove all this paint while we're stripping the body, so might as well do them at the same time. If I could get this just to cooperate with me. Axel's like, man, why you gotta do that? I've been comfy here for 40 years. Geez, that base looks real nice. Could have a gorgeous car under here, folks. We have no idea. Once we start stripping, we'll find out. We got a little bit of work ahead of us, but you know what? It's gonna be fun. Hopefully this thing isn't just completely sanded out underneath. It's got a metal engine, so I can just dab away on here. We're gonna have to remove the engine later. Just gonna have to let this sit for a little while. Here we are back from cleanup. It's looking pretty good. One side of the car has been pretty sanded. Body line on this door is almost gone compared to this side. So hopefully it's in pretty good shape. There's a lot of big sanding marks in it, but I'm gonna try just wet sand it smooth and we'll go from there. Also, I gotta pull this motor out so we can polish it separately, and the engine bay of this car gets painted the color of the body as well, so it's gonna look really nice when we do that. The base turned out real good. It was in pretty good shape when it got painted. Nothing wrong with that at all. I don't even know if I need to do anything to that except for, you know, get some wheels on there, etc. Just let the water shower over you. Let's see. Oh, it's rough. Just want to start off with a real light 400. Oof, maybe 400 is going to be too much on this car. Oh, switch it down. Where's my spongy? To the sponge. Ooh, there's some deep scratchers in there. You see those? That's real good. Looks like I got to do a little bit more paint stripper under here, get that cleaned up. Quite the journey, this little cougar. While we're at it, we'll put some on here. I just don't think this car is worth zinc plating at this time. Like, it's pretty good as it is, and I don't want to risk screwing it up by me bushcrafting my way through some zinc plating. I think we should just go with how it is. I think it's going to look really good no matter which color we paint it. I don't know if I can just hang on to it. I think it's kind of cool half polished, to be honest. Looks like it has kind of a wash on it. We're going to decide on a color. Actually, I got to do these bases. Okay, we got some stuff to do here. So this is the part of the video where I do a random voiceover. Drilling out the posts to prep for the self-tapping screws. It's a fine job. It's a fine job I'm doing right there. I gotta say, it sure is nice to have my Talon airbrush back from retirement. I know it was only 2 days, but I was stressing out. And it turned out I was able to get my part I needed for about $13, so... I didn't buy a new airbrush today. I was going to buy like a spare. Just to have, just in case. I was going to buy the exact same airbrush again. That way I'd have two, but I didn't. So, add a little bit of hardener here. We're doing about 10 drops. Alright, here we go. I haven't touched this red since we did the Beetle, so I'm very excited about this. Airbrush is back, working good. Here we go. Wow, so it's amazing that I haven't noticed this before, but I just noticed our roof is mashed in. But back to the kitty. This looks really nice. I got these axles I got to deal with. These are heavily painted. So these tires gots to go, I'm afraid. What in the HE double hockey stick is going on here? These normally just shoot off across the room like that. This is painted outside and inside. It's got black on the outside, red on the inside. Alright, well that was easy. Hard for you guys to see, but there's a big crack going through this windshield right here. So this is junk. Kick a field goal. So for the past half hour, I've been very gently scraping away this paint. Contemplating life. Wondering what I did wrong to deserve this. Luckily it comes off pretty easy. I'm just using the side of my pick like this. There you go. There you go. Just like that. Could you imagine being the guy at the Redline plant, just putting axles in all day? Put these big old boots on the back here. I think we are at that time where I can do an assembly. Allow me to get the car. So the first thing we're going to do is reattach our engine. Everything's all pre-drilled. Just got to put our new screw in. This guy in here. Make sure Nice white interior. Oh sure, the back one goes in like a dream. So, I gotta do a couple more details on this thing, taillights, grill, etc., but I'm willing to show you this right now. Is that not the sweetest car you have seen? Look at it. I love it. Doesn't even faze me. This body line, there's supposed to be a door here. However, on a custom Cougar, it's not supposed to have a body line, so that's kind of weird. You know, they're similar, yet different. Check out this side. You see the door. This side, no door. Also, this car was pretty pitted up. You can't see it because I did a good job on the paint, but there was a lot of pits along the sides here, and you just wouldn't get a finish like this with the pits you would have saw on this car. So the other day I was just sitting around thinking, man, I wish I had like a competition green Nitty Gritty Kitty in like real life, because this car just screams F with me. Check out the big spoiler in the back. We're gonna do our taillights in a minute here. I'll show you the grill. It's got the little chin spoiler there. My chin. Very cool. I love this casting. I'm so happy that I have 2 more of these to do, and we're going to do them up factory style so you guys can stop hyperventilating. Just to get you guys to remember what this car looked like, it was almost identical to this. Except it had a big dirty arrow on the hood. So we went from this to this, and I feel pretty good about that. And I love the way this car looks, and I'm going to cherish it forever. Alrighty then. Really hard to do from behind the camera. I want to have my nose right up against the back of this car. However, I get to be way behind. So I used the Sharpie just to blacken this a little bit, and I don't want it to look brand new. I want it to look kind of used, but I didn't want it to just be bare. Using a little swab here just to pull a little bit of black out of it so it looks, trying to get it as even as I can. There it is. She's looking real good. I like what's happening here. Really nice little car. Maybe we'll throw this up on the old turntable. I promise the next 2 Nitty Gritty Kitties I'm going to do up factory. I got Decals. They should be here next week. Decals if you didn't understand me. I love everything about this car. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one in a couple days. I'm doing a Red Baron, so we'll check that out. I just want to look at it. I want to look at it some more. Yeah, so nice. Hey friends, today we're working on a Nitty Gritty Kitty. We're gonna do this one up real proper like. I hope you enjoy it. Jimmy doesn't lie, we are working on a Nitty Gritty Kitty, and this has seen some better days. Looks like it's been painted 1, 2, 3 times, at least. And someone so graciously sanded the old paint off, so that leaves us with a little bit of a mess. That is our zinc showing through right there, so I don't know where our factory paint went. Looks like this was possibly an orange car. I was hoping to do something newer. I got a bunch of new colors in. Got some aqua. We got that new badass teal green that I've been raving about. This guy, it's not teal. I got the, let's call it Mercedes green. I got Mercedes green, so that's a cool color. And it's true, I do want to do a clear coat on this car. I think we're going to have a way nicer result than just plain old decals on top of Spectraflame, so hopefully everything works out. That's what we're going to do today. Say bye, Jimmy. Bye, Jimmy. Well, first off, I want to thank you guys for all your feedback comments. I appreciate it. Good or bad, I want to hear the feedback, just so I can slightly alter the course of history and make sure that our channel has a great success rate in the future. If you guys are unfamiliar with these, this back little notch here is what adjusts your spring tension. So I keep mine about there, and it gives me a little bit softer push. If you have this all the way up, maximum tension, it's quite a bit harder to push. So these are adjustable. If you have one and you're struggling, just back this joint off a little bit. This joint is just for taking everything apart, so don't worry about that one. Don't worry about that little guy. What the size of Jimmy's head? Yeah. Santa didn't bring me a drill press, unfortunately. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what's happening with that. Some of you guys suggested Dremel drill press, and I'm with you. I wish I had one. However, the Dremel doesn't have a lot of speed control, and these things you want to drill a little bit slower. So unless there's a Dremel where I could do a speed like this, I'm afraid that's not going to be of use to me. So a drill press itself is going to be better. Because with the Dremel, I'm pretty sure I would just snap bits left and right. You don't want to snap bits because sometimes you can't get the drill bit back out. Alright, so hopefully we've taken off enough material. And I can just give this a little bit of a coaxing. It's real good. It's real good. Let's get this front to pop. Come on, baby. Here we go. That's what we needed. A little dusty, but pretty clean overall. Happy with that. Relatively minty interior. Just a little bit of paint there we're going to have to clean up. Another one of these crazy Cougar windshields. A little bit of paint cleanup to do, a little bit of polishing to do. Shouldn't be too bad. One thing we are going to have to do is get this motor out of here. And it pains me to say it, but we got to drill this out, and we're going to replace that little star mushroom with a screw later.
20 minutes later.
I bought one of these a while back. Pretty cheap. Diamond points. Got a whole variety of nice little diamond burrs here. And they're good for any occasion, such as this. When you have an oddball thing you just need to kind of grind out of the way. Something like this you think would be pretty expensive, but it's not. This is probably less than $20 at a local store, so it wasn't even a bargain. It's just kind of full price. But look at the options here. This would be good for plastic, metal, whatever. So in my situation, I gotta get this little star pattern out of here. I think I'm gonna use this little bulb. We'll give that a try. I haven't used these yet, obviously, because I just opened them up. Ultimately, I got it out by just putting the back of my pick in here, and I gave it a little bit of a pry, and it just popped all that crusty gold paint. Alright, so I'm ready to paint strip this, and we will see what kind of mess we are left with. Ooh, see that? In the reflection, right here. That's the remnants of the old speed stripe. The remnants. So that's a good sign that there's some speed stripe left on there. I didn't see any up here. So I'm scared, but if any of you guys are new to the channel and you are curious of any of the products I am using in said channel, go ahead and check the description of the video. And I got a supply list for just about everything I use, or something very similar to what I use at least. I'm not going to have the exact blue paintbrushes. These are just cheap old blue paintbrushes. But there'll be some El Cheapo paintbrushes in there as well. There's some real good bubble action on this one. Good lord, the paint. This thing is thick. With two C's. Oh, we're about to have a glove incident. God, they're gonna know my identity. Gotta hurry. We are back. What we got here? It's 3,000. It's 400. I'm gonna start off with an 800. Got some sanding marks on the roof. Need to have a look at. I'm probably going to be switching back and forth from 400 to 800 here for a while. Just because there's some pretty deep scratches. At this point in the game, I don't know if it's going to be warranted to give this thing any kind of zinc treatment, but we will see. It looks pretty good. See, those scratches are going to show through the paint, so it's unacceptable. Not the finest casting job on this thing. Looks better. Not so crusty. We're going to do our posts, and then I'm going to go clean this. You can see how my drill mark was off center. It's kind of crappy, but you know, this is where we have a chance to redeem ourselves. Same with the back. We're just going to flatten this out a little bit. Gonna go back to using our metal glow because I want to experience just how shiny we can get this car. So far I'm impressed by this product, and it just came to me randomly. I'm gonna smear some of this around here. It's all gonna end up on my arm. This is gonna be cool. We're doing about 10 drops. So if you guys remember, I was talking about buying a spare airbrush. I picked one up over the holidays. I got a Iwata Clips HPCS. This has got solvent resistant needle packing. Super nice airbrush. Should do as fine. Supposed to do a hairline up to about 2 inches. And it's in the ballpark of what I was using before. Supposed to be a little bit more reliable. And yeah, so I'll use the Talon as a backup. I think this will be my new main airbrush. It's almost twice the price. So if you guys want to check this out, I got a link that's going to be in the description under airbrushes, and we're going to give this a try, and I imagine it's going to be the same results as I'm used to. Nothing new. I'm just hoping for a little bit more reliability. Got a little baby filter, a little bit of paint. Wow. Cool. All right, here we go. So I got a pretty good coat on there. It's not quite a wet look, but that's okay. I'm going to be pulling that off with the clear coat. But for now, this is all I wanted to accomplish. It looks pretty good. Alright, so our car is back from paint, and a lot of guys would stop here and say that looks real good, but we're going to go the extra mile. What I got here is a sticker set from Redline shop. I'm going to make it a number 2 car. Also, let me just snip these open. I got some sponsorship decals here. We got Moon Eyes, we got a Hersh shifter, Champion spark plugs, Firestone tires. We're going to put some little drag racing decals on this car. So my plan is, these are not decals, these are stickers. What the plan is, I'm going to stick on a bunch of stickers here and make this car look all sweet, and then we're going to clear coat the whole thing and seal these stickers and decals in all in one shot. So to assist in putting these stickers on, I got some soapy water here. So I'm going to soap down the body of the car and then put the stickers on, and then it's going to give me a little bit of time to kind of wiggle around the stickers, and that way I don't mess anything up. That's what my plan is anyways. So I want to use this guy as an example as where my stickers need to go. It looks like it's just to the right of the blower intake, and I don't have an engine in mind. That's okay. We'll start with the roof one and we'll go from there. We're gonna have to be real careful, so I'm gonna put down a little bit of water first. And if you didn't use the water, you might stick these on and that would be it. You know, wherever it goes, that's where it is. So a little bit of water is gonna help us today with getting these things where they need to be. So we're gonna kind of treat it like a decal, even though it's a sticker. This is gonna be such a cool car. I can't wait. I don't really like how they trim the corner off that sticker there, but I guess I don't really have a choice at this point. Now after 5-10 minutes, once some of this water just evaporates, any part of the decal or the sticker that's lifted up, you'll be able to squish down. So not a big deal if the front is lifted a little bit. Not a big deal. Could possibly go over just a hair. I love that this stripe is offset. It's super cool. There we go. We gave this a few minutes just to kind of evaporate a little bit, and now she's sticking right on there. Real nice. I think I'm happy with that. Don't be worried about clear coating over stickers. It's no problem. It happens all the time. We'll just give that a couple minutes. Let some of that evaporate. Cool. So that's our stripe. It's looking real good. We got these door stickers. They look pretty big, but I checked it out and they are accurate. They're supposed to be pretty big. I got this cool tool. Let me show you here. I was at the stationery store and I picked up this. And it's got all your hole sizes, and this isn't like the drawing section. But what I've been using it for is just measuring out what size these stickers are. So this one is 7.14 millimeters. And it could be this one. 19/64ths. And I looked, and you know, they're not all the same, depending on what kind of car you're using. So if you're making your own, you can kind of just measure things out with this little template, and this costs you just a couple bucks, just a flimsy piece of plastic, so that'll pay for itself just in frustration. Just gotta give that a second. It's still pretty juicy. Just let that do its thing for a minute. Yeah, so if you got too much soap and water, just give it a second. Just give it a second to chill, and then come back later and squish it down. Okay, in the meanwhile, let's pick out what we want here. Just set these aside. We definitely want some moon eyes. Those are real cool. We definitely need some Hurst shifter action. Nitty Gritty Kitty, probably factory 4-speed car, right? Very cool. Maybe we'll do the Firestones. So we'll save the rest of these for another project. Maybe we'll put the moon eyes down there. Since this car was polished when we painted it, this paint is super fragile. You gotta be real careful. If only you guys knew how much I was sweating putting these things on, like freaking out. Alright, so our base I cleaned up with the regular lime out treatment. If you are unfamiliar with the lime out treatment, watch the video for the super van. I basically have this bathroom cleaner That is really good at eating away oxidation, and I soak it in there for about 4 minutes and I scrub it clean with a brass brush, and you end up with a pretty minty brand new type of base. So I'm ready to put some wheels on this bad boy, and we're going to put some big old booties in the back of this car today. Just going to use my little tool here to make sure I get them all the way onto the bearings. I spent so much time on the body for this thing. I think it was worth it. I do have a confession. After the first clear coat, I actually dropped the car on the floor. I don't know what happened. It's just clear coating away like usual, and then all of a sudden my hand just opened up and I dropped the car. But I did what I could to save it. I think it looks pretty good. Might add a little bit of character to it. I don't know. It's what it is, you know. Alright, our base is ready to go. If you remember, our little windshield here started off with a little bit of paint right here. I tried something new today, and I used Super Clean, and I soaked this in Super Clean, and it came off in about 6 hours. Just rubbed it off with a rag. Super impressed. I'm more comfortable using Super Clean than I am using brake fluid, just because I've seen how brake fluid like soaks into some certain plastics. Super Clean for the win. This cleaned up really nicely, so all this needs now is a little bit of a polish. Oh yeah, polishing compound. Did a pretty good job getting that nice and shiny, so that is good. Last thing I had to work on was the interior, and it had just a little bit of paint right here, a little bit of paint right there. I literally gave it just a little bit of a scrape with a pick, cleaned this up with a toothbrush, and it is ready to go. In case you guys are curious, this is a normal Sharpie. This is a fine Sharpie. These are excellent for doing hobby stuff. Look how small the tip is on this little guy. Excellent for doing things. So anyone who needs something cheap for taillights, get yourself one of these Sharpies, because they are nice and teeny. I have an acrylic pen that I normally use for doing this, but it does not have a point anywhere near that sharp. So this is very convenient and affordable. Bloop, 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 bloop. It's very nice. Alright, I dropped this car on the floor in the middle of clear coat, so it's not perfect. They're never perfect. No matter how hard you try, there's always something. You always had one too many beers and drop your car on the floor. So I'm using just self-tapping screws to hold everything together nicely. I don't need to tap these, since the screw itself is harder than the material that the body is made out of. They just tap themselves. I'd say that's looking pretty good considering I dropped it on the floor. Totally wasn't my intention. The first layer of clear coat got a little bit messed up, but overall, she's still pretty sweet looking. If you'd like to own this car, leave this video a thumbs up. I really liked it. I think it turned out pretty sweet. I love the little extra decals I put on there. Things looking real good considering what we started with. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you tune into the next one. I should be working on something this weekend, so you can expect that. Thanks for watching, guys. Yes, which one is my favorite now? I don't know, I like them both. You have to switch to the blue one. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Diecast. Ew, a pube. Ew. Ugh. Welcome back to Diecast Resurrection. Today we are building another Nitty Gritty Kitty, my favorite. But this one we are building specially to give away to one of you guys. My plan is once we get rolling here on the live streams, we're going to play some games, we're going to give away some cars, we're going to have lots of fun. This is going to be one of the cars I'm going to give away. I might give away this bad boy. Blip, 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 blip. But I'm building this one for you guys, and I ain't doing no Spectre Flame, okay? We're going to make this thing real sweet. It's going to be similar to this, and mostly because it's extremely oxidized. Looks like it's been dipped in acid. Maybe it lived in vinegar for a while, I don't know, but it's like sandpaper. So we're going to do something similar to this. And it's going to be a classic Diecast Resurrection Nitty Gritty Kitty. That's what we're doing today. Feeling me? Okay. Ooh, this straight up crusty under here. Jeez, this thing feels like it's getting kind of flimsy on me. I wonder if our... Better check our measurement here. Calibrated. Gotta calibrate your tools. It'll work out just fine. Jeez, that thing's... Look at all those barnacles. This baby spent some time on the coast. Beauty. Stuff is just perfect. I love it when they're nice. A little polish. Gonna keep it a white interior, of course. I don't mess with white interiors. We got this bad boy, and yes, we are gonna pull this engine because it is just a lumpy mess in there. So gonna have to get rid of that nice little flour mushy. While we're here, I'm gonna flatten these posts. So far, so good, I guess. Boom! That's how you uninstall an engine, boys. So we can strip the little bit of paint that's left on here. We're gonna have to do a major lime out soak on this. We can get going on this. Hardly anything left on here, so this will just be real quick. Get everything nice and coated, including the front. Cool, that's pretty well stripped. So as always, gonna go give this a wash with some hot soapy water and a brass brush. And we might even dunk this body in some lime out this time. We're gonna see, but I'll be right back. Alright, here's our car. Got a little bit of gunk left under the hood, but she's looking pretty rough. Pretty rough indeed. Look at all that. So I got our little tub of lime out here. Lime out is it's basically a hydrochloric acid based bathroom cleaner. And it works really good for cleaning up bases. So I'm going to take our base, have a good look at that. You can barely even read anything, it's so crusty. I'm going to drop this straight in there. And we're going to leave that in there for about 4 minutes. Doing it. Just going to let her chill. I'm going to let this stuff kind of bubble away and get cleaned up. And we'll have a look-see in a couple minutes here. Alright, I'm going to have a look-see here. See what our progress is like. Now before I go rinse these bad boys, I'm going to take this brass brush. I'm going to just give it a little scrubby scrub here. We're going to see how she's looking. What do you think about that? You could take this one more level and polish it, but all that crusty oxidation, gone. I might polish this one just for fun. Plus, it'll kind of give it a protective coating. After using the lime out, always neutralize the acid that's on your parts. I haven't done that yet. So we're going to look at this body. Same thing. We got quite a bit of damage on this body, but at least we're down to like the basic zinc now. I think it looks alright. We're not going to do a traditional redline paint job on this, so it doesn't really matter how rough this is. It's all going to be eaten up and smooth as glass by the time we're done anyways, so looks pretty good. So I'm going to go neutralize our parts. Make sure we stop the corrosion right now, and then we are going to come back and maybe get some painting done. Alright, we are back getting ready to do some priming. Got our little car here. I didn't even sand it. I think we're going to be okay on this one. For a primer, I'm going to use the old Untitled Res, my new favorite. Here, push some right in there. Ain't even going to filter it, Vern. Next up, we're going to do our gloss black. That's going to be our final coat. I'm going to let that dry, and then we're going to move to our Quicksilver and then start laying down some color pigment. You guys should be getting pretty used to the old candy paint system by now. See, at this point, we could probably switch to a Spectraflame and shoot over this. If you had a really bad red line, you know, you could probably use a little bit of filler, do the black, do the Quicksilver, spray your urethane, and I bet you it would look just fine. Okie dokie. So I'm going to use a new color this time. I think I have about 12 more to go at this point. All these candy colors can be mixed. Keep in mind, so you can create your own colors, get crazy with them. We're going to be using what they call a grabber orange. Just because we're doing a Mercury, a lot of these Cougars came with grabber orange paint jobs. Except they were a little bit more of like an opaque color, where this is going to be a candy, so it's probably going to look more like the orange Spectraflame. Might look a little bit more red as well, so it's not going to be like an original Cougar paint job, it's going to be like a fancy Cougar paint job. So here we go. So candy, I've been shaking this off camera for quite a while. Get a decent amount of that in there. That looks like orange Spectraflame already. And of course we're going to add some balancing clear to that. And we need a little bit of reducer. There we go. I feel like I did a really nice job of getting the even color on this car. It's pretty close to Spectraflame. Stuff's still got a little bit more red in it. You're really going to see the difference once we put clear on here. Alright, so I dried that with my airbrush, but I'm going to let it sit for a little bit before we start dealing with some stripes. So we'll be right back. Since I paid good money for these little Nitty Gritty Kitty kits, we're going to use one, and we're going to make it similar to our drag edition, except I'm not going to put the sponsor decals on. Original stripe package. We're going to make it number 3 because this is the 3rd Nitty Gritty Kitty I'm doing. So somebody's going to get lucky number 3. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling it. We gotta get these numbers on. OCD kicking in. You don't see people working on these too much, so I'm glad that I've had so many. I've never seen anybody else work on one on YouTube that I've seen. Hell yeah! Alright, I guess I'm off to clear coat then, and we will see about getting that chassis back together. Yes. Yes. Okay, and today we are going to be using a little bit of Flitz. I know you guys have been suggesting this for quite a while. I just haven't seen it until recently, so I've grabbed it when I saw it. My man Paulie over at Fat Man Productions recently used some of this, and it did a super nice job, so we're going to give it a try today. Stuff does a really nice job cleaning up our plastic. We could give that a little bit of a dip in our Pledge floor polish. I'm going to give this a dip. Give that guy a nice dip. Set her down. And we're going to cover this bad boy up for the duration of the dry period. So we'll leave that over here. Really have a look. So what I did is I put the little bit larger size tires on the back because I like the look. Similar to what I did on our Nitty Gritty Drag Edition. A little bit beefier tire on the back, so we're going to go for the same thing. Okay, I think it's time to get this guy back together. Windshield looks perfect. Just perfect. Interior's nice and white, plain old. I'm digging it though. So we're going to need a couple screws. Get this here glass. So as you can see, I got a hole drilled through our motor. We got a hole drilled through the post. Everything is nicely drilled. We're going to secure our engine with a screw. Very carefully get our base back on here. One more screw for the back. This thing is sweet. This might be my favorite one. I'm gonna give it away. Feeling pretty good about that. Feeling pretty good about that. Here we go. What do you think of this gem? That candy goes all the way to the bottom. Woo! She fancy. She is fancy. A couple little dusties on here. That's okay. Whenever you got a brand new painted car, it's a dust magnet. Don't let that bother you. You can see that paint job is flawless. We've done all three. We got my classic green beast. We got the new one, and we got the drag edition. So it's quite a difference, you know, considering what we started out with. You guys saw how corroded this body was. Like, it pretty much looked like it was dipped in acid for a while. And then we did dip it in acid for a while to remove some more of that corrosion. But we got this body looking sleek. Doing the candy paint, you know, really gives me a chubby. And I think it just, you know, the cars speak for themselves. So if you guys like this car, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you guys check out the merch, and I will see you in the next one.